The House will come to order. Members will be at their seats. The clerk has opened the roll and you may record your presence. Please rise and give your attention to the House chaplain, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Representative Turk.
Good morning, my friends. Allow me to pray for you. Good morning, Father. Thank you for the rest and comfort of this past weekend. Now, with refreshed minds and rested bodies, we embrace a brand new week. For those in our midst who have found the last few days to be less than refreshing, let us remember the words of Isaiah when he said, "Have you not heard? The everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, does not become weary or tired. His understanding is inscrutable. He gives strength to the weary, and to him who lacks might, he increases power. Though youths grow weary and tired, and vigorous young men may stumble badly, yet those who wait for the Lord will gain new strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not get tired. They will walk and not become weary." Give us patience, O Lord, with you and with our colleagues and families. We are thankful you never get tired of hearing from us. Thank you for your understanding, which is so far beyond our own. I pray today for the weary and ask that you might provide new strength for them. For those wrestling with health issues, I pray for your healing touch. And for those who have stumbled and may be experiencing some self-recrimination, I pray you might forgive and restore. Thank you for every leader in this chamber as they seek to do their very best for the people of Kansas. Would you give clarity of thought and purpose as new bills are introduced and debated? Help us to be patient with one another as you are patient with us. And when we are short of patience, help us to display grace and understanding. I ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Allegiance to the flag, States of America, and to the republic which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have all members had an opportunity to record their presence? Clerk will close the roll and record the attendance. Introduction of bills and concurrent resolutions. The clerk will read.
HB 2387 by Committee on Taxation, requested by Jessica Lucas on behalf of the Friends of Cedar Crest Association, an act concerning income taxation. HB 2388 by Committee on Taxation, requested by Jessica Lucas on behalf of the Friends of Cedar Crest Association, an act concerning sales taxation.
House Bill 2022 appears on the consent calendar for the first day. Is there an objection? Seeing none, it will remain on the consent calendar for the second day. Speaker recognizes Majority Leader Croft for a motion to resolve into the Committee of the Whole.
Mr. Speaker, I move the House resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for the purpose of considering those items under the heading of General Orders.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Speaker appoints Representative Adam Smith to chair the Committee of the Whole.
Good morning, body. Our first item of business is House Bill 2110, and for the purpose of carrying House Bill 2110, the chair recognizes Representative Hoffman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Morning, everybody. There were committee amendments. I move the adoption of the committee report.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The motion passes and the committee report is adopted. You may continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 2110 is a trailer bill for the bill we passed last year to create, and that bill was 2690, which created the State 911 Board from the State 911 Coordinating Council. We knew when we did that we would have to make some changes this year, so this is the trailer bill to do those changes. Basically, this bill would remove the Local Collection Point Administrator, the LCPA, which was an organization that was contracted out to do the collection and then the remittance of the funds for 911 services. It was decided that the best way to do that would be through the state treasurer. So the state treasurer will be taking over that operation within this change. It also creates a couple of funds that need to be created before we're able to move money into the state treasury. And it also takes the cap off of the 911 grant fund, which right now is at $2 million. It probably will not necessarily hit $2 million, but there are a lot of issues if it does because of the cap, and so it's just better to take that cap off. So with that, I will stand for questions.
Thank you, Representative. Does any member wish to speak to the bill? The chair recognizes Representative O'Hobson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The carrier of the bill did an excellent job explaining it. It's a great bill, great bipartisan work. I urge everyone to support House Bill 2110. Thank you very much.
Seeing no further discussion, Representative Hoffman, you may close.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that when the body rises and reports, they report House Bill 2110 favorable for passage.
You've heard the motion by Representative Hoffman to report House Bill 2110 favorably. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. Motion carries. The next item of business is House Bill 2170, and for the purpose of carrying House Bill 2170, the chair recognizes Representative Howell.
Thank you, Chair. There were no amendments.
Please proceed.
I rise before the body to present House Bill 2170, designating the first week of February as Kansas Burn Awareness Week. This is in conjunction with the National Burn Week, and it is commemorating all those who lost their lives or have been injured as a result of the burn. It raises awareness for the seriousness of accidental burn injuries and fatalities in this state, and it is for educating the public on effective and preventative burn measures for to avoid accidental burn injuries. And with that, I will stand for questions.
For discussion on the bill, the chair recognizes Representative Susan Ruiz.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I thank the carrier of the bill for a really good explanation. This is a very good bill, and we shall all support it. Thank you.
Seeing no further discussion on the bill, Representative Howell, you may close.
Thank you, Chair. With that, I move that when the body rises to report, they report House Bill 2170 favorably for passage.
Body, you've heard the motion by Representative Howell to report House Bill 2170 favorably. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Motion passes. Next item of business is House Bill 2117. For the purpose of carrying House Bill 2117, Chair recognizes Representative Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. There were no amendments.
Please continue.
I rise before the body to present House Bill 2117. House Bill 2117 seeks to improve business filing procedures and compliance requirements in Kansas by modifying existing statutes related to business trusts, foreign corporations, professional corporations, and limited partnerships. This bill is really the wish list from our Business Services Division in the Secretary of State's office to get rid of 6 small annoyances in law and reduce rejections of customer filings. The only proponent of the bill was the Secretary of State's office. There were no opponents to the bill and no neutral testimony. No additional cost of revenue changes have been reported as a result of this legislation. With that, I will stand for questions.
For discussion on the bill, the chair recognizes Representative Sawyer Clayton.
Thank you, body. The carrier of the bill did an excellent job at explaining the legislation, and I'd like to commend the representative for her past work on House Bill 2665, Levi's Law, for honoring her late son, Levi. The representative and I do disagree on some things, but she has shown herself in committees to be a very sharp woman who asks good questions, and I have a great deal of respect for her. Would like to welcome her to the legislature and urge your vote in the passage of this bill.
For further discussion, the chair recognizes Representative Howell.
Thank you, Chair, and I would like to ask the carrier for a few questions, if I may.
Yes, you may.
Once upon a time, a girl whose name rhymes with
Hill.
went up on the
Hill.
carrying a
Bill.
with no time to kill through the halls so wide and still in the Kansas state capitol. What a thrill. And with that, I would like to say it has been a joy to work with you and to get to know you, and we are so glad to have you here with us.
Thank you.
Seeing no further discussion, Representative Ward, you may close.
Mr. Chair, I move that when the body rises to report, they report House Bill 2117 favorably for passage.
You've heard the motion by Representative Ward to report House Bill 2117 favorably. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Our next item of business is House Bill 2031. For the purpose of carrying House Bill 2031, the chair recognizes Representative Collins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There were committee amendments. I move the adoption of the committee report.
Body, you've heard the motion to adopt the committee report. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes and the committee report is adopted. You may continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 2031 enables people who hold a valid driver's license in any other state but Kansas to be a driving instructor in the state of Kansas. Previously, or as it is now, a driving instructor in Kansas must have a valid Kansas license. And this bill first came up to allow motorcycle instructors from with a license from other states to operate in Kansas. But it was at the request of the Department of Revenue, it was amended to include all driving instructors. And there were 4 proponents and no opponents. And with that, I stand for questions.
For discussion on the bill, the chair recognizes Representative Helgerson.
There was no opposition to the bill. In fact, there was great support from people down as far away as the Gulf of Mexico and to the foothills of Denali.
Seeing no further discussion, Representative Collins, you may close.
I guess we could have a debate on the proper names of that gulf and that mountain, but I don't think that would be in the best interest of time. So, Mr. Chairman, I move that when the committee rises and reports, it reports House Bill 2031 favorably for passage.
Body, you've heard the motion by Representative Collins to report House Bill 2031 favorably. All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. For our next item of business, we have House Bill 2124, and for the purposes of carrying 2124, the chair recognizes Representative Van Houten.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. There were amendments. I move the adoption of the committee report.
Thank you, Representative. Committee or body, you've heard the motion by Representative Van Houten to adopt the committee report. And all those in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee report is adopted. Please continue.
This is House Bill 2124, an act concerning roads and highways designating a portion of United States Highway 160 as the Corporal Monty Wayne Forrest Memorial Highway. Corporal Monty Wayne Forrest Memorial Highway will be designated on the portion of the United States Highway 160 from the eastern city limits of Argonia, then will go east to its junction with Eden Road. Proponents, Representative Hoffman and the nephew of Corporal Forrest, provided proponent testimony. They stated that Corporal Forrest died in military action in Vietnam in 1970 and was posthumously awarded the Silver Star and the Purple Heart. There was no other testimony. There was an amendment, House Bill 2105, designating a portion of the United States Highway 77 as the POW MIA Memorial Highway. Located at the north end of Milford Lake near Wakefield in Clay County as the POW MIA Memorial Bridge. Requested by Committee on Veterans and Military Representatives, Representative Bloom. They described the importance of honoring those who served our country in war, who were prisoners of war, or who remain missing in action, and described the sacrifices of some of those service members. It was noted that 1,179 Kansans remain missing or unaccounted for from World Wars I, II, the Korean War, and Vietnam War. A representative of the Military Officers Association of America, Kansas Council of Chapters, provided written-only proponent testimony. I'll stand for questions.
For discussion on the bill, the chair recognizes Representative Turner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Representative, I have a question. I know this is your first bill, Carrie. I know you have served your community as a member of the Spring Hills City Council. I just wondered if you could tell a little bit, I know the importance of your family, getting to know you this session, but maybe you could share a little bit about your family and.
Sure. So I have a wife and 3 children at home right now. It's President's Day, so she took off work because they're out of school, so they're watching. So, and then we've got a 6th member of the family, a little fur baby, dog Buster Moon, who is named after the Matthew McConaughey character in Sing.
I wonder also, I know you're replacing former Representative Thomas, who's now Senator Thomas, but I'm just curious, do you guys use the same hairstylist?
Well, I can assure you, neither of us, you won't see either of us on a commercial for Hair Club for Men anytime soon. But as I look out across both aisles, I see it's a truly bipartisan issue, so I'll stand for bald is beautiful.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, I've gotten to know you, I've enjoyed it. I know you're a person that does serve your community, and now you're serving your state. I know that you care deeply about your faith and your family, and you're here to do a great job, and you will. And I welcome you to the legislature.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
For further discussion, the chair recognizes Representative Helgerson.
The representative did a very good job explaining the bill, and we wholeheartedly endorse it.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Representative, you may close.
Mr. Chair, I move that when the body rises and reports, they report House Bill 2124 favorable for passage.
Body, you've heard the motion by Representative Van Houten to report House Bill 2124 favorably. All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Our next item of business would be House Bill 2169, and for the purpose of carrying House Bill 2169, the chair recognizes Representative Essex.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, body. HB 2169 would amend statutes authorizing issuance of specialized license plates to military veterans to align requirements with statutory changes made in 2024 with regard to benefits for veterans. Veterans are current members of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, Space Force, and Merchant Marines are all eligible for this non-transferable distinctive military veterans license plate. The bill would authorize issuance of these specialized plates to U.S. military veterans who were released or discharged under an honorable discharge or a general discharge under honorable conditions. And it would amend provisions regarding proof of military service to clarify the acceptable forms of proof. This proposal will make it so the requirements for getting the veteran designator on a driver's license matches up with the military license plate recommendations too. It eliminates the 60 days in advance requirements for vehicle registration renewal as well. We had one proponent, Zach Daney from Kansas Department of Revenue, and the fiscal note is $1,200 to update various agency forms, policies, and procedures. So I'll stand for questions.
For discussion, the chair recognizes Representative Helgerson.
As previously stated, we endorse the bill also.
For further discussion, the chair recognizes Representative Carlin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Would you answer a question, please? Representative, I haven't read the bill. Is there any change in the license plate or just the definition?
From what I understand, there's no change to the appearance of the plate. It is more matching it with statutes we passed last year and making proof more decisive on how to prove you're a veteran. And it also added, as I mentioned earlier, license plates to those who are honorably discharged or general discharge under honorable conditions.
So it's just a definition. I want to say I have so many people in my district that have asked me for specific problems to be fixed on our veterans plates. So I might do something next year on that.
Great.
But they would like to be able to say a disabled veteran and a veteran, and there's not much way to do that on the current tags. And there've just been different requests for different situations that are not covered. So I'm glad we're not changing the plate. We do that another time. Thank you.
Sounds great. Thanks.
Seeing no further discussion, Representative Essex, you may close.
Mr. Chair, I move that when the committee rises and reports, it reports HB 2169 favorably for passage.
You've heard the motion by Representative Essex to report House Bill 2169 favorably. All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Our next item of business is House Bill 2185. For the purpose of carrying House Bill 2185, the chair recognizes Representative Wolf.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. There were committee amendments. I move for the adoption of the committee report.
You've heard the motion from Representative Wolf to adopt the committee report. All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries and the committee report is adopted. You may continue.
HB 2185 is important because Kansas has a proud tradition of honoring and supporting our National Guard and their families. This bill reinforces that commitment by helping military dependents access higher education. By making Kansas more military-friendly, we encourage service members and their families to stay in Kansas. HB 2185 is a tool for recruiting and retention, enhancing the safety of our state and country, and builds upon a popular new law that helps National Guard members earn advanced degrees. National Guard members may choose a single dependent to be able to use their earned credits that were not previously used by the member towards a post-secondary degree or certification. Funding for dependents will only be available after all Guard requests are approved and fund balance allows. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will stand for questions.
For discussion on the bill, the chair recognizes Representative Proctor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Last year I was proud to be a co-sponsor of the Emerge Scholarship, and this morning I had some concerns in calendar. Since then, I've had the opportunity to speak with the Kansas Guard and speak with the chair of the committee, and they've allayed all of my concerns. I think this is a great program. My concern was that this might bump some Guard members because we were bringing dependents into the program. But as the chair showed me right in the language, we are not going to start giving the scholarship to any dependents until every Guard member who has applied has received their money. And so, Body, I would ask you to support this bill. I think it's a great way to further incentivize Kansans to join the Kansas Guard. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
The chair next recognizes Representative Mosier.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Would the bringer of the bill answer a couple questions, please?
Yes.
So before you came here, you were a county commissioner, correct?
That is correct, for 6 years.
6 years. Were you ever chair of the county commission?
I was for 2 of those years.
Okay. Could you share with us the layout of the county commission room, and was there a center aisle?
No center aisle at my county commission.
Okay. Were there certain rules and decorum followed during your public meetings?
Yes, there was.
Okay. Was it prohibited to walk in certain spaces in your meeting room?
Yes, if you weren't recognized, you cannot be back behind where the commissioner sat.
Okay. Has anything of this nature ever happened in this new role as a state representative?
Unfortunately, I believe it has.
Would you care to elaborate on that?
Ignorance is what I call it. Because I was walking on the back row and I heard this terrible banging sound and I looked up and yes, it was for me. And so I thought, I have no idea what I've just done, but obviously it wasn't good. And so I handed my page over and left, and then the next day when we were in rules, I asked someone, I said, or I think he just said to me, we need to talk, and I said, yes, we do. And he said, it wasn't that you were, because I thought it was my toe hanging over, what was I doing? But anyways, it was not that. I'm accused of loitering. So I stopped in the middle aisle and loitered. I will not do it again.
Now ask me.
So, have you ever been gavelled in this amazing room?
Yes, I was, for the same reason, when I was a freshman, and former Representative Eric Smith tried his best to keep me from going, and I went, and I got gavelled in. So we are birds of a feather. So,
Thank you.
Thank you for carrying the Emerge bill, and I have come up, and I fully support the bill. I've also come up with another set of words for Emerge. For every moment encouraging recruits, good evolves. So welcome to the House.
Thank you.
For further discussion, the chair recognizes Representative Featherston.
The carrier did a fine job describing the bill, which will increase our opportunities to recruit more National Guardsmen and women without increasing any costs to the state. It's a good bill, and we're happy to have you here in the House.
Seeing no further discussion, Representative, you may close.
It is not just the members who serve, but the entire family that sacrifices and gives while their family member is serving. The passage of this bill is a small way to pay them back. Mr. Chair, I thank you for the opportunity to present House Bill 2185 and ask that when the body rises and reports, it reports favorably for its passage.
You've heard the motion by Representative Wolf to report House Bill 2185 favorably. All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Our next item of business is House Bill 2145, and for the purpose of carrying House Bill 2145, the chair recognizes Representative Collins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There were committee amendments. I move the adoption of the committee report.
You've heard the motion, body. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. The committee report is adopted. You may continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 2145 allows the Butler County Commission to appoint an additional 5 at-large members to the Butler County Fair Board. This would make that Fair Board consist of 15 members if all appointments were made. Similar legislation was passed that allowed Cloud County to appoint an additional 3 members to their Fair Board. The legislation would only impact Butler County and not any other county. And there was 1 proponent and no opponents. With that, I stand for questions.
Thank you, Representative. For discussion, chair recognizes Representative Featherston.
The carrier of the bill did a fine job describing it. It's good to note that other counties can charter into this if they're having problems filling their fair boards, except for the beloved county of Johnson, where we have our own charter commission.
Chair recognizes Representative Will Carpenter.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This comes from, I represent 3/4 of this county, 27-member fair board. Couldn't get a quorum for meetings, so this was much needed legislation. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Representative Collins, you may close.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that when the committee rises and reports, it reports House Bill 2145 favorably for passage.
Body, you've heard the motion by Representative Collins to report House Bill 2145 favorably. All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Next item of business is House Bill 2215, and for the purpose of carrying House Bill 2215, the chair recognizes Representative Chuck Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the adoption of the committee report.
Were there amendments in committee?
House Bill 2215
Representative? I wasn't showing that
with
there
no
were any
amendments.
Okay, please continue. Go ahead.
Thank you. What this bill does is build a career campus at Lansing Penitentiary. And this career campus, what it'll do, it'll give adult education, it'll give career and technical skills for the men that when they get out, they can be in the job market and maybe get great jobs. It gives them college education hours, so maybe they can get that 4-year degree, and it just gives them a career readiness. So again, it's important that when they serve their time, they get out, they're employable, and our businesses want them. This is a public-private project, which means the public will pay, in this case, 50%, and the private will pay 50%. There's no committee changes. If you look at line 24, it changes the private from 25% to 50%. So what it's going to be is a 1-to-1 match, and which is fair for all groups. So if this bill is passed, it will take effect on July 1st, 2025. I'll stand for any questions. Thank you.
For discussion on the bill, the chair recognizes Representative Schlingensiepen.
Previous speaker did an excellent job summarizing the bill. This bill simply allows the Department of Corrections to leverage funds that have already been appropriated. And this is a good bill, so I urge you to support it. Thank you.
Seeing no further discussion, Representative, you may close.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I move that when the committee rises and it reports House Bill 2215 favorable for passage.
Body, you've heard the motion by the other Representative Smith to report House Bill 2215 favorably. All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. Motion carries. Body, this concludes our general orders. The chair recognizes the majority leader.
Mr. Chair, I move we rise and report.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Clerk will read the committee report.
Mr. Speaker, your committee of the whole recommends that HB 2110, 2170, HB 2117, HB 2169, HB 2215 be passed, HB 2031, HB 2124, HB 2185, and HB 2145 be passed as amended.
Speaker recognizes Representative Adam Smith to adopt the committee of the whole report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move adoption of the Committee of the Whole report.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor of the committee report signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Committee report is adopted. Reports of standing committee, the clerk will read.
The Committee on Corrections and Juvenile Justice recommends HB 2327 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. The Committee on Judiciary recommends HB 2323 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. The Committee on Judiciary recommends HB 2242 be passed. The Committee on Agricultural and Natural Resources recommends HB 2064 be passed. The Committee on Judiciary recommends HB 2371 be passed and the bill be passed as amended. The Committee on Higher Education Budget recommends HB 2195 be passed. The Committee on Insurance recommends HB 2128 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. The Committee on Higher Education Budget recommends HB 2248 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. The Committee on Health and Human Services recommends HB 2159 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. The Committee on Appropriations recommends HB 2007 be amended by substituting with a new bill to be designated as substitute for House Bill number 2007 as follows: an act making and concerning appropriations for the fiscal years ending June 30, 2025, June 30, 2026, and June 30, 2027 for state agencies, and the substitute bill be passed. The Committee on Health and Human Services recommends HB 2217 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. The Committee on Federal and State Affairs recommends HCR 1602 as amended by Senate Committee of the Whole be adopted. The Committee on Federal and State Affairs recommends HB 2164 be passed. The Committee on Local Government recommends HB 2099 be amended and the bill be passed as amended. The Committee on Welfare Reform recommends HB 2240 be amended and the bill be passed as amended.
House Bill 2348 is withdrawn from Committee on Judiciary and referred to the Committee on Federal and State Affairs. House Bill 2131 is withdrawn from the Committee on Judiciary and referred to the Committee on Federal and State Affairs. House Bill 2349 is withdrawn from the Committee on Judiciary and referred to the Committee on State and on the Committee on Federal and State Affairs. House Bill 2294 is withdrawn from Committee on Appropriations and referred to Committee on Commerce, Labor, and Economic Development. House Bill 2152 is withdrawn from the Committee on Financial Institutions and Pensions and referred to Committee on Federal and State Affairs. House Bill 2149 is withdrawn from the Committee on Energy, Utilities, Telecommunications and referred to Committee on Federal and State Affairs. House Bill 2346 is withdrawn from Committee on Commerce, Labor, and Economic Development, referred to Committee on Federal and State Affairs. House Bill 2290 is withdrawn from Committee on Appropriations and referred to Committee on Commerce, Labor, and Economic Development. House Bill 2293 is withdrawn from Committee on Appropriations and referred to Committee on Commerce, Labor, and Economic Development. Temporary committee appointments. Representative Nick Hoheisel will replace Representative Sean Tarwater on Legislative Post Audit Committee on Monday, February 17th. This appointment will expire at the end of the day on February 17th. Representative Brandon Woodard replaces Representative Mary Lynn Poskin on the House Committee on Commerce, Labor, and Economic Development on Monday, February 17th. This appointment will expire at the end of the day on Monday, February 17th. Representative Tobias Slingensiepen replaces Representative Jerry Stogsdale on the House Committee on Education on Monday, February 17th. This appointment expires at the end of the day on Monday, the 17th. Are there any announcements? Speaker recognizes Representative Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Veterans Committee, not caucus, but Veterans Committee will meet immediately after this, after we recess in room 218 North. Veterans Committee, 218 North. We will then transition into the Vet Caucus in the same room. Thank you.
Speaker recognizes Representative Butler.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just an announcement for tomorrow. Leading Age Kansas has announced their cancellation of the Aging Services Day that I think was on everybody's calendars. And they also wanted everybody to know that they are canceling their lunch as well, so make plans accordingly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker recognizes Representative Woodard.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Democrats will have agenda tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. in 152 South. We'll give you 30 extra minutes to safely commute in. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker recognizes Representative Mosier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today begins State FFA Week, and up in the gallery, we have some of the state officers today. All are currently Wildcats attending Kansas State University. So thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker recognizes Representative Delperdang.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Joint Committee for Building Finance will be meeting at 12 noon, room 159 South. We've got Highway Patrol coming in and lunch will be served. Thank you.
Are there any further announcements? Speaker recognizes Representative Wassinger.
Members of CLEAR, there is a lunch today down in room 159 South. It's Chipotle. Please join us. Thank you.
Are there any further announcements? Seeing none, Speaker recognizes the Majority Leader for a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Republicans, we will calendar tomorrow at 8 a.m. in the old Supreme Court. Mr. Speaker, I move the House adjourn until Tuesday, February 18th at 9:30 a.m.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. We are adjourned.